So now you know all about your gross profit, which represents income that you've made from sales, less any direct costs or COGS to produce those sales. So the rest is all yours to spend on spa appointments, the finest clothing, and that new ride you've been eyeing up. Right? Not so fast. You've got some monthly expenses to pay, regardless of whether or not you made a sale that month. So let's talk about your overhead expenses. Now, the textbook definition of overhead expenses refers to the ongoing business expenses not directly attributable to creating a product or service. Now, overhead can be fixed, variable, or a hybrid of both. Now, the definition you need to know is that overhead is every expense not directly related to selling your product or service, so everything that isn't cost of goods sold. Your overhead expenses in total are usually around the same each month. Think of expenses like rent, utilities, professional services, education, advertising, subscriptions. The monthly overhead number is very important to know for budgeting purposes because you'll have most of these amounts regardless of whether or not you actually make a sale each month. So you need to make sure that you have enough money in your bank account to cover those expenses. A key component to knowing whether an overhead expense, or any expense for that matter, is a deductible business expense is to analyze whether the expense is deemed ordinary and necessary. Per the IRS, an ordinary expense is one that is common and accepted in your trade or business. And a necessary expense is one that is helpful and appropriate for your trade or business. So where are overhead expenses on your financials? Overhead expenses show up on your profit and loss or income statement. If you found this video helpful, we're real accountants and CPAs who work with hundreds of small business owners just like you every day. Check us out at engagecpas.com to see if we're a good fit for your business. We also have business courses available to help small business owners understand their business. They're for you to learn about your financials, your taxes, how to pick the right entity, tax myths, and everything else about your business. Learn at your own pace. Check those courses out on the Education tab on our website. You can also find us on Instagram at Engage CPAs.